My name is Aaron Bailey, and in this video we are going to be doing a train the trainer on how to use a front desk or a GM phone. So this video is intended for Voiceware Express resellers and installers to brush up on the skills and the features of the phone so that they can go and train the front desk users on how to use the phone. This video is not intended directly for the end user. It's intended to train the trainer. So the first thing I'll say about any sort of training is that whenever possible, give the person you're training as much hands-on as possible. They're going to retain some if you just show them the phone and show them how different things work. They're going to retain a lot more if you're the one talking and they're the one doing the different things. So, whenever possible, put the phone in front of them, turn it around, make them pick up the phone, make them do the dials and the different things. So we're going to go through some of the basic features. I always start out as simple as possible, and then based on sort of facial expressions, you can see if you're starting too simply and you need to speed things along, or if this is really good information, or maybe they're not getting it and you need to try and explain it a different way. So the first thing we're going to start out with is simply how to make and receive a phone call. So first thing you can do, if you want to make a phone call, you have a couple of different options. You can pick up the handset and then dial a number. When you're done, press the check mark, and that will begin the call. When you're done, simply replace the handset, and that'll end the call. You also have the option down here, there's a speakerphone button. So if you press speaker, and then dial a number, then press the check mark.
The person at extension 305 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone.
Yes, thank you. And then press the X to end the call. So a couple of simple ways of making a call. It's also important to show the users that they can dial a number first, and they can then decide if this is the right number to call, or if they've made a mistake, they can hit backspace and dial a different number instead. The best way to equate this is to a cell phone. When you pick up your cell phone, you can dial some digits, but nothing happens until you click send. And this checkmark is send. Once you explain that, usually most users understand how the phone is going to behave and the fact that it's a little bit different than a traditional analog phone or possibly the phone that you're replacing off of an older PBX. So make sure you explain that and make that distinction. If you've made a mistake, again, backspace and put a different number, or if you decide, never mind, I don't want to call this person, just click the X and you can back out and you've not actually started a call. Next, let's talk about how to place a call on hold and a little bit about transfer and some of the other options you have when you're on a call. So if you get a call, which will probably happen, you'll notice that it's ringing here. You'll get a caller ID display on who's calling you. To answer, you can simply pick up the handset in most cases, although you could press the speakerphone button to start the call on speakerphone, although that's not usually appropriate for a front desk situation. And while you're on the call, you have a couple of options. You have down here a mute button, and that'll simply mute any audio coming from this end so that the caller doesn't hear it. You can know that mute is on by the little red indicator, and if you press it again, mute is off. Next thing you have is volume adjust. You can, if someone's hard to hear or speaking a little bit too loud, you have the volume adjust there. You also then have a hold and transfer buttons here. You also have those repeated up here, and they're the same thing. So if the user wants to see the buttons lit up here and simply put the caller on hold from that button, you can also press this button to place the caller on hold and remove them from hold. The next thing that we're going to look at is how to transfer calls. So for this, I'm going to put it on speakerphone so you can hear what it sounds like. There are two main ways to transfer the call. You can use the phone's built-in transfer, or you can use the system built-in transfer. The system transfer is only a blind or a not attended transfer, but it is very simple. While on the call, you press pound.
Transfer.
The number you want to transfer to, and the call is transferred. It's very simple because the user doesn't have to worry about any of the buttons on the phone itself. They can simply press pound. It'll say transfer, and then you can enter an extension. Now, don't worry. If you're on a call and you push pound accidentally and don't want to transfer the call, you can simply wait a few moments and the system will time out, say that's not a valid extension, and reconnect you with your call. So just in case that happens, don't worry. The other transfer we're going to look at, keep in mind the system transfer is a blind transfer only. So what happens when you as a front desk agent want to, say, talk to the guest in the guest room before transferring that call? Well, you're going to need to use the phone's built-in transfer options. So let's say we get a call again. So we've answered the call. In order to do an attended transfer, you're going to need to first put your current caller on hold. Then you're going to need to dial the extension of the person you want to transfer the call to. So in this case, I'll do 305. Once you've dialed the number, press the check mark or the send key. And now you're talking to, in this case, the kitchen. Once you've talked to the kitchen or whoever happens to be on the other end, and you're sure that that person wants to take the call, you can then press the transfer key. You may have to press it once or twice to get it to transfer. And there we go. The call has been transferred. And that's your attended transfer. Beyond that, let's look at the next feature here, which is voicemail. At some point, the light will light up here, and there'll be the display that says that the user has a voice message. So to retrieve the voicemail, the easiest thing to do is simply press a voicemail retrieve button. So if you press that,
you have no messages.
It will call into the voicemail system. And if you haven't picked up the handset yet, you'd notice that it went immediately to speakerphone. I didn't have to press speaker first. What you want to tell your users is the day you install your system, each user should go into their voicemail and set it up. And there are only a couple of things they need to do. They need to dial into voicemail. They need to press 0 to get into their options. And then they need to record a busy message, an unavailable message, and their name. Very simple to do. You just call into voicemail.
You have no
press 0.
messages. Press 1 to record your unavailable message. Press 2 after the tone. Say your unavailable message and then press the pound key.
So it prompts them through what they need to do. And what's nice is once they record their message, they have the option to listen to it and even re-record it if they didn't like the first take, so to speak. You will record a busy message, an unavailable message, which are 1 and 2. If you dial 3, once you've hit 0 in your voicemail, you can record your name, which is used in the auto directory if you're using that feature. And then number 4 is a great option if you're on vacation or going to be away from your desk for a number of days. Number 4 is your temporary greeting. So if you have a really good message that you like, you don't want to override your busy and unavailable messages, you can call into voicemail, press 0, then 4, record a temporary greeting that'll override your standard greetings until you turn it back off. To do that, once you've returned from vacation, just dial into voicemail again, press 0 and 4, and then it'll give you the option to remove your temporary greeting. So it's a great little feature to help, again, when you're away from your desk for an extended period of time. Beyond that, there are not many other features that I generally would go over. You can, when you're not on a call, you can press the volume up and down key to adjust the volume of the ringer. Note that you can only get it so low and only get it so high. You also have the option to, if you start pressing the volume up and down here, you can increase or decrease with these keys. Not sure why you'd switch midstream, but there you go. You do also have the option, in case they don't like the ringer, to go into the menus and adjust the ringer. We generally don't cover that too much. One of the other tips to training is make sure you keep it as simple as possible. Only cover the features that they're going to need and use, and again, make sure to give them as much hands-on as possible. The last thing that might come up, although we usually discourage it because it can cause problems, is call forwarding. So call forwarding allows you to set up a forward so that when calls come into the phone, they're automatically sent somewhere else. I will generally not train the front desk staff on this because we don't want them to set up forwarding on their phones, because that could cause an issue where every call then down to the operator gets forwarded off. And the phone, when it's in forward, doesn't ring because you've told it not to. So that can cause some confusion. The other thing that I do occasionally train the front desk staff on, but especially your admin staff, your GM, your sales guy, whatever, is your call history. So if you see this button here, we have call history. And we can see all call history, or if you use the arrow keys, you can scroll over to just the missed calls, just the received calls, or just the dialed calls. And this is a great way to go through. So if you've dialed the kitchen or your reservations or something like that, and you don't want to dial in the entire number again, you can go through your dialed list, and once you find who you want to dial, what's really nice is if you pick up the handset, it automatically connects that call for you because it assumes that's what you want to do. So it makes repeated calls, especially to a reservation center or something that has a long number, very easy to do. Of course, if they are dialing reservations or some other number quite frequently, we can also set up speed dials, and that's something that we can do in the system and then have that populate on their phone. You'll see in this case we have a speed dial here. It just dials 888. That is not a common thing we'll see in the hotels, but it's just here for demo purposes. So if I press the speed dial,
302,
it'll connect the call, and in this case it just
302.
Thank you. It just reads back my extension, which is what 888 will commonly do. And that is about it. That is the basic user level training that you'll need to train your front desk staff on. Again, I will repeat, make sure to give the users as much hands-on as possible. They're going to perceive the training as a higher quality if they get to play with it themselves. They will also retain a lot more, which is the ultimate goal of the training. So make sure to push that phone, get it in their lap or in their face, not in yours, and make sure that they're dialing the things. Because they're just going to retain so much more that way. Thank you very much for watching this video. Of course, if you have any questions or concerns, you can call or email support, and we can help you out. If you have any feedback for this video, you can also call or email support, and we'd love to include additional things that come up or answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much.